Have you ever wondered why, even though she says you're just a friend and barely texts you back, your image keeps unexpectedly popping up in her mind? Why does this happen? The truth is, she thinks about you more than she's willing to admit. And this is where Stoicism, the philosophy of self mastery, can help you understand what's really going on. Trust me, it's not because you sent her that meme at 2 a.m., although that was a solid effort. Stick around, because what you're about to hear will completely change the way you see women, love, and maybe even yourself. First, let's talk about the silent pull, something many men often overlook. A woman is usually drawn first to a man's presence, long before she falls for his words. It's not about being the loudest person in the room nor having the smoothest pickup lines. It's about how you carry yourself naturally when nothing needs to be said. If you stay calm amid chaos, if you hold your ground while others panic, if you remain true to your values without flinching for validation, that presence, that quiet strength, lingers in her mind, echoing long after you've walked away. Now, let's add a Stoic truth. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. But flip that a bit, and you realize she dreams about you in silence far more than she ever shows. You might assume she's forgotten you, that you were just a passing thought. But in the quiet of the night, when her world slows down, your energy, your presence plays like a melody she didn't expect to miss, a steady, grounded, deeply masculine tune. Meanwhile, you're probably scrolling through her story, wondering, did she see my post? Spoiler, she did. Twice. And probably showed it to her best friend too. This isn't about obsession. It's about emotional gravity. When a man is stoic, self-possessed, emotionally intelligent, and unshaken by the need for validation, he becomes unforgettable. She's not thinking about your texts. She's thinking about how you made her feel when you said nothing at all. The way you owned your space, the way you didn't need anything from her to feel whole, that haunts her in the best way. But if your presence has so much power, why does she act like she doesn't feel it? What's stopping her from admitting it? Stay with me, because the answer reveals a whole different side of her psychology. Second, the mask she wears. Here's a hard truth that might sting a little. Many women have been taught to suppress their attraction, especially toward strong men. The story continues, and in the next part, we'll dive deeper into that mask and uncover surprising psychological truths. Building on the power of presence and silence we discussed earlier, let's dive deeper into the complex psychology of why she hides her true feelings. It's not that she doesn't feel it, nor that you didn't leave an impression. It's because society has clearly taught her, don't be too eager, don't reveal your cards too soon, never let him know how much influence he has over you. Why? Because control equals safety, while feelings are unpredictable, messy, and vulnerable. To her, admitting interest feels like handing you a loaded weapon, something dangerous. So instead, she masks it. She plays it cool, says she's busy, or claims she's not looking for anything serious. Yet deep down, her heart races every time your name lights up her phone. Meanwhile, you might be sitting there confused, wondering if you imagined the connection. Let me be clear, you didn't. This is where Stoicism meets modern female psychology and why understanding it gives you a serious edge. A Stoic man doesn't react to surface noise. He's not shaken by silence, hot and cold behavior, or playful distance. He observes, reflects, and responds only when necessary. And guess what? That unsettles her because she's used to attention coming instantly. She's used to guys jumping through hoops whenever she pulls away, but then she meets you. The man who doesn't flinch when she steps back. The man who stays grounded. The man who's not trying to fix, chase, or prove anything. He simply is. That kind of inner strength creates tension, the good kind, the kind that gets under her skin in the best way. Let's be real for a moment. Texting 14 times a day isn't stoicism. It's not even attraction. It's just anxiety with thumbs. There's no mystery in desperation, no magnetism in seeking validation. You don't become unforgettable by being constantly available. Stoicism gives you the power to hold your space and stay grounded when she's spinning emotionally, and that makes you stand out from 90% of the men she meets. Because when you stop chasing her approval, she starts chasing clarity. Why isn't he trying harder? Does he even like me? Why can't I stop thinking about him? That mental loop is where emotional gravity begins. You've entered her mind, not by forcing your way in, but because your calmness gave her the space to wonder and feel without pressure. And here's the most fascinating part. She might think about you all the time, but she'll go out of her way to hide it. Why? Because the stronger her feelings, the more she wants to protect them. She might bury her desire under sarcasm, hide her interest in jokes, even pretend she's moved on just to avoid vulnerability. Next, we'll explore why these masks exist and how you can spot these subtle signals in this intricate psychological dance. Continuing from the last part where we uncovered why she hides her feelings behind masks and sarcasm, let's now dive deeper into what's really going on beneath that cool exterior. Don't be fooled by the woman who teases you, mocks your calmness, or acts like she's unimpressed. She's not indifferent. Far from it. What you're witnessing is her wrestling with her own emotional defenses. She's trying hard to keep control, and your presence is shaking that carefully balanced world she's built. Now, here's the real twist. If you affect her this deeply, if she's thinking about you more than she lets on, why doesn't she just come out and say it? Why won't she speak her truth openly? The answer isn't just psychological, it's biological, cultural, and something most men never fully grasp. Once you understand this, you'll never be fooled by surface level acts again. Stick around, because what's coming next will give you a whole new perspective on what she's really hiding beneath that mask. Here's the third insight. Her silence is not your signal to give up. Ever notice how she says, "I'm fine," but the energy around her feels anything but fine? That's no coincidence. Women are emotional strategists, and their silence is never empty. It's layered, calculated, a language woven with curiosity, fear, and desire all at once. According to female psychology, when a woman suppresses her feelings, it's rarely because those feelings aren't there. More often, it's because those emotions are too intense, too risky, and too powerful to expose without certainty. This is exactly where your stoic mindset becomes your greatest asset. The average guy either panics and chases after her or withdraws completely and ghosts. But you respond, not react. You observe, you reflect, and above all, you stay grounded. When she goes quiet, you don't flood her with needy texts like, "Hey, are you okay?" every few minutes. And you don't just walk away, assuming she's lost interest. Instead, you wait, you watch, you give her the space to come to terms with what she's feeling on her own timeline. It's like playing emotional chess, except she's got three queens on the board and you're still trying to remember how the knight moves. Yes, it's a bit unfair, but that's the game. Here's the magic though. The more stoic you stay, the more she begins to trust her own attraction. Because now you're not just another guy reacting to every mood swing. You're not making her emotions your responsibility. Instead, you create a safe emotional container, a space where she can feel without judgment, pressure, or the fear of being chased. Suddenly, her silence stops feeling like a wall. It becomes a bridge, a slow, deep, authentic path to connection. Most men don't realize this. She doesn't want you to solve her silence. She needs you to understand it, to stand still while she unravels what she's too afraid to admit, even to herself. And when you do that, you become the man she can't stop thinking about. Up next, we'll explore how to harness this insight and build your own inner strength to master the delicate dance between silence and connection. Picking up from how your calm presence creates a safe space for her to open up, let's see what happens next when you master that powerful stillness. It's not because you chased so hard, but because you didn't. You allowed her to meet herself through your quiet strength. And just when you start to believe she's moved on, that's exactly when the message arrives. Maybe it's a call, a confession, or that one moment when everything shifts, because now she's finally ready to stop hiding how she feels. Suddenly, she lingers a little longer when saying goodbye. Her texts carry a warmer tone. She brings up something you said weeks ago, out of the blue. That's no accident. That's connection, catching up with courage. Stoicism didn't just shield your peace, it created a magnetic pull. And now she no longer hides how often you cross her mind, because your restraint made her feel safe enough to drop the act. You didn't chase. You didn't plead or try to win her over with desperation. You simply existed, like a well-mannered storm, powerful, composed, and respectful. So if she's on your mind, there's a very good chance you're on hers too. But here's the difference. You don't have to say it to prove it. That's the Stoic edge. In a world full of noise and chaos, Be the silence she can't stop thinking about. If you're ready to dive deeper into mastering Stoic attraction and decoding the mysteries of female psychology, hit that subscribe button now. I've got more secrets that women hope you'll never discover. And remember, still waters run deep. Often they run straight into her.